Much indeed.
The Justice Minister David Ford says major changes have to be made in his department following yet another critical report about the prison service. Keeping a prisoner for a year here is almost 2.5 times more expensive than elsewhere in the UK, and the service is underperforming. But running costs are not the only problem highlighted. Our Home Affairs correspondent Vincent Kearney reports.
Destructive and a barrier to change. That's how industrial relations are described in the latest highly critical report about the prison service here. Criminal Justice Inspection says weak management and the attitude of the Prison Officers Association have made it impossible to implement necessary reforms. The report describes the relationship between management and the POA as dysfunctional and says this has undermined efforts to reform. Inspectors say the union has become entrenched and has exercised a de facto veto over change. As for those who run the prison system, the report says a failure to properly manage the performance of staff has sent a signal that performance doesn't matter. The result is a prison service that fails to deliver, despite having higher staffing levels and costs than anywhere else in the UK. In Scotland, England and Wales, the cost of keeping a prisoner in jail for a year is less than £40,000. In Northern Ireland, the figure is almost £95,000. When it comes to pay, main grade officers earn an average of just under £29,000 in England and Wales. Here, the figure is more than £37,000. There are more people working in the prison service here than there are inmates, with almost 1,900 uniformed officers and 400 support staff to supervise fewer than 1,500 prisoners.
It is important that in thinking about how the prison service is going to move forward, that there's a need for much stronger governance and accountability, stronger leadership, stronger management processes, and at the same time a more constructive relationship between staff associations and management within the service itself.
The chairman of the Prison Officers Association, Finlay Spratt, told BBC Newsline he wasn't available for interview, but speaking on Radio Ulster earlier, he described the report as sensationalised.
Sensationalisation, it's the Criminal Justice Inspectorate team justifying their existence. I accept and I acknowledge that changes has to be made in the prison service, but it will not be made by quangos, armchair generals who haven't a clue what they're talking about.
I've stood here many times in recent years talking about the findings of yet another critical report about the prison system. So will this one make any difference?
I think this time there is an imperative with devolution, there is an imperative with the budget situation to see that changes will be made. The issue is not whether we sit, retreat into a hole, or whether we say this is now the opportunity to recognise the changes that are needed, to work between management, staff and others to see that we get a prison service which is fit for purpose.
A team appointed by the Minister to review the prison system is due to deliver its findings next month. David Ford will then be under pressure to deliver the changes it recommends. Vincent Kearney, BBC Newsline.
People in North